Hey guys, it's Emily3 and welcome to my Mario Kart 8 Retro Tracks predictions. Well, let's start off with the amount of retro tracks. I have a total of 20 retro tracks. The reason is because, well, the Wii U is going to be the next installment, and we might have a greater memory system, so this is the reason why I have 20. So that meaning 5 cups instead of 4. Then, starting here in the Super Mario Kart, I'm having 2 SNES. The first one, I think, will be Vanilla Lake 2. Well, it gets a little bit tricky because of, we don't know if it's going to be Vanilla Lake 1 or 2, but I think it's going to be 2 because it has more popularity, and besides, we need an ice track. And then the other SNES track is going to be Mario Circuit 4. Why? Well, because we had Mario Circuit 1 on the DS, Mario Circuit 3 on the Wii, and Mario Circuit 2 on the 3DS. So I think it's going to be pretty obvious, and it's going to be Mario Circuit 4 for the other SNES track. Now moving along with the N64 tracks. I have a total of 2 N64 tracks, and I think, well, one of them is kind of confusing because of the popularity. Well, I think it's either going to be Yoshi's Valley or Royal Raceway. The reason why it's undecidable is because they both have equal popularity, but I think I'm gonna go with Yoshi's Valley just because I think it has more popularity and because it's bigger, and it fits like the Wii U a lot much better because it has a greater memory system. And the other obvious one, I think, will be Rainbow Road. Why? Well, because we most likely got the SNES version on the 3DS because they wanted to add the N64 one on the Wii U. So that's the reason why I think it will appear in Mario Kart 8. Then moving along to Mario Kart Super Circuit. I have a total of 3 tracks. So the ones that I think will appear will most likely be Riverside Park. Well, it didn't appear in Mario Kart 7 most likely due to the fact that we only had 1 Game Boy Advance track on the 7, and I think this is the reason why we should have 3 instead of 2 like the SNES tracks. Well, because it kind of got cheated out, you know what I'm saying? Because I think it's going to be Riverside Park because we had Peach Circuit on the DS, which is the first track on the Mushroom Cup of Mario Kart Super Circuit, and we had Shy Guy Beach on the Wii, the second track. So the third track was supposedly going to be in Mario Kart 7, but it didn't appear due to the fact that we only had 1 track. So I think we will have Riverside Park since it's the next in the order of the Mushroom Cup, and we already had the Bowser Castle 1 track on Mario Kart 7. So that's the reason. And then the other Game Boy Advance track, I think, will be Blue Lake. Why? Well, because we do need a ghost track. I'm selecting the Game Boy Advance one instead of the SNES one. And then we have the third Game Boy Advance track, which I think it's really obvious that it's going to be Bowser Castle 4. Why? Well, because this is the same thing that happened with Mario Circuit for the SNES, but instead it's for the Game Boy Advance. Since we had Bowser Castle 2 on the DS, Bowser Castle 3 on the Wii, and we had Bowser Castle 1 on the 3DS. So this is why I think we will have Bowser Castle 4 on the Wii U. Then moving along with Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube. I think we will have 3 tracks, and I think the first track will be Mushroom City. Well, the reason is because, well, we haven't seen a traffic track since Mario Kart DS, and it was Mushroom. We do need to have a traffic track back, and then the other track will be Wario Coliseum. because it has lots of popularity and it's pretty big and it's great for the Wii U since it will most likely have a better memory system. And the final track Mario Kart Double Dash I think will be Bowser Castle. Why? Well, because since we had the N64 Bowser Castle on the Wii, I think it most likely will be Bowser Castle. We will most likely see the GameCube one return for this console version of Mario Kart Wii U. Moving along to Mario Kart DS. So, Mario Kart DS has a great starting off track, like sort of how we got a starting off track like on the 3DS with Luigi Circuit. I think it'll be a great track to feature Figure 8 Circuit for the first starting track on the Shell Cup, because it is simple and easy for beginners to use on. So if you notice, the title of the track is called Figure 8 Circuit, and I think it perfectly matches the name of Mario Kart 8. In the next DS, the second one and last DS track, I think will be Mario Circuit, the DS version, of course, because well, we do need another Mario Circuit track, so why not the DS version one? And moving along with Mario Kart Wii, we will have like probably 4 tracks since it's the second to last game in the series. So that is the reason. And the first track, due to popularity, I think will be Toad's Factory. And then the second Mario Kart Wii track will most likely be DK Summit. Why? Well, because we had the N64 and the GameCube one on the Wii. We had the DS one on the 3DS, and it most likely sounds that the Wii version will be back on the Wii U version. The next Mario Kart Wii track will probably be Wario's Gold Mine. Why? Well, because it's been like, well, since the retro tracks were invented, we haven't seen any Wario track, so that's why I have 2, the GameCube one and the Wii one. And the last Wii track will most likely be Grumble Volcano due to popularity. And moving along to Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS. Starting off, I think we will need an easy but not too easy like Cheep Cheep Lagoon. Well, since we might see the return of the underwater driving, I think it would be perfect for an easy start in the Shell Cup, so why not? The second 3DS track I think will be Music Park due to popularity, and besides, it really is a fun track to drive on. The third track will most likely be Woohoo Loop, because, well, I think the Mario Kart series will continue to have one lap tracks like the Woohoo Loop. Instead, it's not laps but sections, and I think they will continue to do that. And why not have the return of one that appeared in Mario Kart 7, such as Woohoo Loop? Then the last track for the 3DS will probably be Rock Rock Mountain, because it has great popularity, but not as much as Music Park. But I think it will still appear because it has popularity. You know, before I show you my Grand Prix of the retro tracks of my predictions for Mario Kart 8, why don't I show you other tracks that have a good chance of appearing but didn't make it to my list? And these are the ones.